Hey folks, Jimmy here, aka Palette of the Dead. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to the latest issue of Warhammer 40k Imperium magazine. Now, as per usual with all these videos, if you like them, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and of course, drop a comment down below. I love hearing back from you guys and it goes a massive way to help the channel too. Now, with this issue, issue 44, we have scenery, we have more of a ruined Factorum, painted up the same way as you did before if you wish to, but otherwise I personally would spray paint this. It'd be far easier if you spray it, because painting by brush will not be easy and will be time consuming, so it's definitely worth spraying it because it just speeds up the whole process, in all honesty. Into the issue itself, we are greeted by our latest theatre of war. This is the Electia battle zone, the Holy Ground. So the Adeptus Ministorum stronghold, a centre of the Imperial Creed for Hive City Electia Prime, hosts dozens of shrines, ecclesiastical buildings and monuments to the Imperium's many saints. Unwilling to abandon such holy ground, Imperial forces are engaged in a brutal city fight against the invading Necron legions. So, with Hive cities, they are super huge buildings and buildings upon buildings and buildings, and there are many different areas to them as well. So they are super huge cities that encase huge populations and huge districts for all sorts as well. So you will have Factorum districts, the Adeptus Ministorum, which is the centre of faith for the Imperium, and there is, of course, obviously, loads of different parts of the Adeptus Ministorium as well that are kind of spread out, and loads of different priests as well that you may see. And there is also the religious areas, so where the citizens, pilgrims and penitents will actually go and visit as well. So really good stuff. You also get a battle record for it as well, so you can name different sectors. So as you go, so you have 3 different sectors to name using that chart, or choosing your own names if you wish to, entirely up to you. But you'll be recording your battles and be able to mention any major events that will happen in your battles. The example they give is a canoness of the Adeptus Sororitas won a great victory against the Necron invaders, personally destroying their overlord. And you could have utilised a lot of that type of thing. So really cool stuff. Then we have the information about one of the other chapters of the Space Marines. This is the White Scars, really cool looking guys, and they are masters of lightning assault specialists, masters of mounted combat and expert scouts and hunters. The White Scars rely upon speed and mobility, utilising lightning fast hit and run attacks to decimate the ranks of the enemy. Countless Xenos and Heretic armies have been picked apart by the White Scars without landing a blow in return. So, the White Scars were the 5th of the original 20 Space Marine legions. So, the White Scars were once known as Star Hunters, and their Primarch, Jagatai Khan, was raised amongst the tribes of the world known as Chagoris, and during the Great Crusade, having been united with their Primarch, the Star Hunters, began to follow the tribal traditions of Khan's primitive homeworld. The Primarch then reshaped the Legion to utilise the same hit-and-run attacks that he had perfected on Chagoris, and after earning many great victories against the Emperor's foes, the Star Hunters were eventually renamed to be the White Scars, which is a reference to their ivory battleplate and the Chagorian tradition of ritual scarring. And of course then they broke into different chapters, and though their Primarch has long been missing, the chapter and their successors adhere to the Khan's preferred methods of warfare still, preferring carefully scouting and swift, precise strikes over grinding campaigns of attrition. So that is generally how they like to do it as well, which is pretty damn cool. And you get a bit more information about some of their latest of their Khans, which is Korashiro Khan, and he is a captain of the White Scars' 3rd company, and he is fierce to the point of savagery. And then we also have their armoured steeds, so armoured steeds mainly being referred to as the combat bike and the ATV that you can get from the Space Marines, which are really cool units and pretty worth having as well in any good old Space Marine army. Then we have more background information about the Adeptus Sororitas and their reign of blood, giving you some more history over the fact that they were once led astray by Goj Van Dyer, who rose to power and took a major title and kind of convinced them that he was leading and kind of the voice essentially of the Emperor. And during this time, the Adeptus Custodes took several of the most trusted sisters into the Golden Throne, and obviously none of them are alive now, save the God Emperor himself, and a lot of information was changed. And when they returned to Van Dyer's side, Alicia denounced the High Lord's corruption to her order, and then beheaded the mad priest in a single blow. So the Adeptus Custodes utilised the sisters to essentially enact the God Emperor's will and get rid of such a corrupt, horrible tyrant who was leading the Imperium astray, really. So yeah, really, really good stuff. So pretty damn cool. Then you've got your how to build guide. It's dead simple. You're not going to go wrong. I have perfect faith in you to not go wrong with this. And yeah, but by all means, as I say, spray paint it. I would. It'd be far, far easier than trying to go through all of this. If you spray it with, I don't know, Wraithbone or even Korax white spray paint or even White Scar spray paint, and then paint up certain sections and then utilise Norn Oil or good old Agrax Earthshade, you'll get it looking grimy, you'll get it looking pretty damn cool, and you can utilise it to kind of bulk it out and make it look like it's just out of a war zone itself, but entirely up to you how you want to paint it. You can also do it grey if you wish to, but entirely your choice, but have a bit of fun with it. Then we have information about how to utilise terrain and placing the terrain in specific locations to utilise it for how you kind of describe objectives, lines of fire, movement lanes, and symmetry and asymmetry, and the terrain variety as well. So to kind of bulk out your battles and change how they work. So for instance, you can utilise, if you wanted, you could have it as a theme. So you can have it with these kind of streets that you can utilise in between it, so all these different movement ways. Or if you're having it in the middle of nowhere, you can have it so there is a centre area, and then you can have, like, I don't know, defenders in the middle and then attackers are on the outside. Entirely up to you, but you can utilise a lot of that kind of information to make your games a bit more unique and a bit more your own, which is always very, very handy. Then you get advanced rules about the strategic reserves. A wise commander does not necessarily commit all their troops to the attack, making sure they keep additional forces held in reserve to reinforce wavering battle lines or exploit weakness in the enemies. So you can use strategic reserves, so you can utilise them and have them arrive in the reinforcement steps of the movement phase, but strategic reserve units cannot arrive in the first round of battle, and you can utilise them to kind of push through and add to it. Entirely up to you if you want to utilise those rules, but can be very, very handy when you're having large scale battles in good old 40k. And you keep getting a bit more as well, so you get a tutorial of how to utilise them strategic reserves as well as having them advanced rules for it. So because it is the first time being mentioned, the tutorial will come in very, very handy for anybody who is new to the game, because this explains everything a little bit better. It makes it a little bit clearer of how you can actually utilise it as well. So really, really good stuff. Then we have our initiate for the newest battle that we're going to get, which is, you know, listed as Battle for the Spires, and during this we'll have domination. So for this rule we will be utilising in the Necron forces in order. We have our Overlord, 1 Royal Warden, 10 Warriors, 5 Immortals, 3 Scorpec Destroyers, Spider, and 3 Scarab Swarms, going up against the Ultramarines of the Captain, Librarian, Tech Priest Dominus, 5 Intercessors, 10 Skitarii Rangers, and then 3 Aggressors as well. And you deploy from each side of the battle mats as well, so using 2 battle mats pushed together. And you have a nice large area to utilise as well. And if you wanted to, you could always put your buildings in there if you want to make it a bit more interesting. I have a bit of fun with it. It seems like a really good battle plan, quite enjoyable as well. So have a good one. On to next week. So next week we get our Canoptech Wraith, and we find out information about the Order of the Valorous Heart, which is one of the Adeptus Sororitas orders, who are pretty damn cool as well. And we also get a note, Alien Tides fold out as well within the magazine. For Canoptech Wraith is a pretty cool looking mini. In all honesty, I need to hurry up and paint some of my others so I can get going with that one now when that run arrives. But really good stuff. Then issue 46, one I'm looking forward to, we get some Adeptus Sororitas units. So there are some Sisters, Seraphim, and then we have an Arco-Flagellant in there as well. So we have a decent amount of units. That's only half of what we're getting as well. So we will be getting some more in a couple of issues, in a fair few issues time really, which will have more of a Seraphim and some other units as well, some more Sisters. If you want to pick up others, well, you can in the meantime, and bulk out a Sisters army if you wish to. But really good stuff, and I am really looking forward to getting going with those ladies. But yeah, should be good fun. Other than that though, thank you very much for watching. I'll be back, of course, next week, and hopefully with another video in the near future. And yeah, shall see you sometime soon. Bye bye now.